foolishness. We pay you. Master, I don't want any foolish idiot to text me later. Who the hell is Sam George? If somebody thinks I'm sitting here because of Mahama, then you are stupidly stupid. I'm telling you.
Alright, Abusia, and the Supreme Court echo assistant about a Calvin Bedu Taylor, the case and the bench warrant and that's so. Emergency Supreme Court eba Abusia must say a 4 against 1. Ama say bench warrant and that Calvin Taylor so yakwasi enuobium. Ama say no Calvin Bedu Taylor is a free person now. Ama say no free enter to. Now everybody knows Calvin Taylor so a bad law. I don't watch you so. They are not on good terms. Cry all because I say Calvin Taylor near maybe away on TSC. Senti kotimi papa na ka Supreme Court etnase na say obi ekase ka Ghana nyina judiciary open the most you got anya corrupt ka Supreme Court so they say no utimi enkase Ghana judiciary na Ghana justice no clean it up bibi etalo ho also anti ase said Calvin Taylor evidence bebrebe ya ewo we any in so much as okan yi I don't know what it means setting free. And now, Oba Ghana, of course, if person was like a national security for you. Someone who Calvin Taylor, a one wasn't coming apprehending, and so there be that. President, any vice president in movie, I'm a yafan, and Nakosi, I'm a Ghana security taxpayers, Yesika, as I for soldiers, someone called one no mind. And the Musia, and then they are poor, I don't watch it. One go easy with Supreme Court, so cry. One go easy. Orion was saying. Yes, Ghana for the Supreme Court a come as Mabia. Yetian Sama Calvin, Bedu Taylor Ekafa Ghana for whom Yetian penny for near the Diatemo Dia said Ghana and Pap, your short memory and Calvin Taylor yet Nipa. I was like a Supreme Court today as some way Etel. I don't watch the summer hockey canoe to the Wuse and net ye. The Wuse near Siafunu and Yabufu Kotwa. Come away. Yegoti I don't watch near Calvin Taylor did your damages will dear Ghana for any judiciary executive just will be a copy from a sort of copy from Natchez Yasafan where it's uncle on Fanny Yegoti.
Something happened before that. Did you hear what I said? Should I say it again? I'm saying that this morning Ghana Supreme Court said also because of that, it's political and all over it's added everything to the process was quite, and it also applies to the because the Joy FM has a lot that piece. Did you hear what I said? Oh, you didn't hear. Should I say it in Tree? And the Supreme Court, I can't say the concord the mind to Kumeusu and I no can say I can say Bantama in it. Did you hear what I said? We have a show tonight, isn't it? Later on tonight.
To say you said a cancer, man put your abrabum. A dear hidden a dinisano. Ah? A dear hidden a dinisano. Wo na wo ma santemai say Otumfor wo na wo say santemai otom obi omon kan kire wo asantemai say e ye wo Otumfor na Otumfor te wo na ye see sebio wo na nanom o baaye no sa ankwase asem we komo so anka nda akonwa kase we enke da ho mo so nsemfo so dodo ye bu akonwa nim tia na ye so nyoma so Otumfor you have limited power. Asante is nothing. Say 2 million antibium 2 million mensia biem Emimpaya wo wi asingina ye showa masarai bebediza when the Corinthians onimdia wo nyina ontumi san bayare Ankan Williams ono so ne ba no so aboda mo se den osoro na wate chain we ni kwate fia te se mire edidi nkwasi asem on TikTok was Ankan William wa bompa ye wo wi asingina de brofo abo ontumi san bayare na mo mogibigimyara mensa otabo akwatena court a bank board so we wi sika tetram o de nam Ghana osoro na ohye Igbo curtains Reverend Obofo se hwanwan ne nine say Egyptian pen o de nkwasi afo bu de chiwa gigibu musika nyina koto phantom and o ka kire mo se osom no azan afa oba no ofon chemi o and wa kese chemi I said if Somalia ekuro bi ade friend nkinkensu and ade ne baaye and otowa hwanafo no samwa jimi arimi yawe edidi chief imam office de chi and o ye corruption eduma ho because o say chief imam nyini chief imam on TV chief imam on radio and arimi yawe na bodwe se peg And in Kwasia politics, the only chief man office here. and so, I mean, think you are foolishness. We pay you, Master. I don't want any foolish idiot to text me later. Who the hell is Sam George? I say, who the hell is that fool? I'm ready for you any day. Foolish man. Ube who say a drobi o baby. Me say remember we drag at them. Me say ube wrong what na form. Me, I'm telling you that. If somebody thinks I'm sitting here because of Mahama, then you are stupidly stupid. I'm telling you. You can call your Mahama and ask him. And if John Mahama thinks I'm sitting here because of him, he is taking stupidly. Oh, men shebia honte. Akonyebia to say toilet. Oh, you hear some.
But Sky wrote, they can do what they want to do. That is okay. You remember Ivor Green Street in the and he ended up with something. He said, "Yo, NDC, you can do what you want to do. We too, when the ballot comes, we shall do what we want to do." I don't know why he said that back in the day. I was monitoring the room and we all laughed at it. But when I saw this from Meritus Sky, I said, "What do you concern, Musa? What's the problem?" Two things disturbed me, and I'm going to talk about them. Yeah. The first one was the Minister of Defense. And I remember President Mahama, when he swore in the ministers, he told them something. Is that Dr. Maniboma? Yes. When President Mahama swore in the ministers, he told them something. He said, I think the video is there. He said, now that you are ministers, be careful of what you say and how you say it. Recently, the almighty Johnson Asedun Ketia, addressing the comments of the Honorable Sam George, Minister for Communication, relating to the Hawakumsin issue, he said, and it's gone viral, that a minister cannot talk like that. A minister cannot talk like that. Bring back the defense minister. Minister for Defense of Ghana. Now, when you are minister, you're a member of the government and an important member of the government, according to Article 78 and 79 for deputy ministers. Now, you represent the states. You do not represent NDC as such. You can look after NDC people better, which is allowed, but your representation is for the state. So if at a press conference a question is asked that there are rumors that somebody who is reported to have scandalized the court has come to town and that he has been given some security protection and you are defense minister, what is it? Then you say, am I an immigration officer? Minister for Defense, the one who is supposed to defend the republic, the lead administrative head of the armed forces, has a press conference and says, if somebody has come that the court doesn't want him to come, why not? Me, I'm not an immigration officer. And he's giggling, he's laughing, he's almost being sarcastic. I don't care, I'm not an... I believe that President Mahama must have known these things. That's why he told them at the inauguration that now that you are ministers, be careful of what you say. I don't know, somebody was telling me when we were discussing it today that when President Mahama said that, he was 100% sure that they will fall foul of it. That's why he said it smiling. He knew that this my people, they will do it. He said, because now you're a minister. And I said, Duketia was clear. It's not that what Sam George said was wrong, because naturally, emotionally, you can understand Sam George's excitement about people who meted out some dastardly act on him getting to receive the same thing. Emotionally, everybody can understand it. But the elevation of the office of the minister means that your emotions must be controlled in the interest of the state and in the interest of the public. Dr. Maniboma may have an emotional connection to the case that Kevin Taylor was found, for which Kevin Taylor was being asked for contempt. It was a case about NCA. He was the minister for NCA. His best friend was on trial in the matter. Eventually, his best friend got off on appeal. That one too is a story. But because we are ethical and we are professional, we don't talk those stories. We don't say it. It's not important. It's beautiful that we don't want any young man in trouble. So it's whether it's NDC or MPP is not the matter. Let's have young people work. So he may also have an interest in a journalist talking about the court in a negative way, the court that convicted NCA people and was about almost convicted somebody that he knows very well. And we know how that's happened. We know. The appeal succeeded. That's how it happened. But we know. Okay, but it's unethical to talk about it. Now, because of that, it was incumbent on him as minister not to indicate any relationship, any connection with anything, and to answer a question about somebody has come, that if you don't know that he has come, you don't know, but you support the view that if he has come, the law should take his course, and those who know where he is, they may well proceed and use the stage to, not to tell the journalist in a what looks like sarcasm with smile that I'm not an immigration officer. Minister for Defense. The Minister for Defense is, by the way, one of the high-profile ministers. If you look at the pegging order, President, Vice President, Chief of Staff, I think Finance is number 1. I think Defense is 2 or 3. Maybe Defense Attorney General. They are very high-profile ministers. And I was worried. When I watched the video, I said, whoa. People were sending it to me that, your man, did you? I said, yeah, I saw it. Anyway, we have 2 interviews, so let's get into the details of the matter. We have thank you, Honorable Minister for Defense. Thank you. We have a small matter to discuss. It will take just 5 minutes because Otumfor is here and the beautiful Opunkroma is here. We just want to say this from the constitutional arrangement and from democracy, that this is the Chamber of Parliament and this is the Office of the Executive. There's a reason why under most democracies, including Ghana's democracy, people are called upon to elect by voting the people who end up in parliament, in the legislature. People are called upon to elect by voting the man or woman who will end up as the top executive, the president. They are called upon to elect. There's a reason why we are not called upon to elect the judiciary under our democracy. In some places it happens, but in most places it doesn't. We are not called upon to elect the judiciary because the longest lasting democracies have observed that there always need to be one state institution, an arm of government, that is the bulwark of democracy. So under the Constitution, when this one expires on 6th January, and this one also expires on 6th January, it is this one that does not expire. So on the morning of the swearing in, the morning after Parliament has been dissolved, before the new Parliament comes in, the Lord Chief Justice, acting as the 4th most important person in the pegging order, maintains the position of the leader of the state. And then the Chief Justice goes to the Independence Square. Now, the reason is that there has to be some even playing field for all Ghanaians here. Everyone understands, since Marbury and Madison, that the Supreme Court, when it's making a decision, can make a decision based on political philosophy. If you go to America, it's not a secret. They'll tell you that the Republicans have the court or the Democrats have the court. Not because the Democrats elected people to the courts, but because the Supreme Court judges, of 9 of them, are divided into people know how they think. In America, because of data, by the time you become a Supreme Court, they know that you are right, left, center. Everyone knows that. So if the court is more right-wing thinkers, then on matters that go to Supreme Court on policy, on constitutionalism, they are more likely to go left or right. On every matter of policy and constitutionalism, there's always a left and right. You take free SHS to a court, but you want to say that free SHS is illegal. You will notice that the right-wing people might support you because they don't like government participating in all of those things. You will notice that the left-wing people will not support you. They will agree that it's not illegal, government must pay for it. On a matter like that, on a policy like that, everyone knows that there will be left and there will be right. 31st December to be celebrated as a holiday. There will be left and there will be right. Election petition has come. The fact shows a certain way. Those judges who are in there for the stability of the state will tell themselves that the president has already been sworn in. He has formed his government. He's 9 months into the government. Why are you going to give a ruling that we should go back and vote again? No. I'm going to be progressive. I go on. Then there's another judge who is a stickler for truth. That's their philosophy. That even if he's in power for 2 years, if the election was wrong, it's wrong. Analysts can look at the Supreme Court of 11, 10, 9 and say that this case is going this way. That's allowed. That's really allowed. But if you come below that and you come to procedure and processes, it is not permissible that processes can change because the politics of the executive or the politics of the legislature is dictating what happens here in high courts, in court of appeal. So if somebody has defamed me or I have defamed somebody, I've sat here and said that Omanebo Ama is this, that. Omanebo Ama sues me. And then he sues me in defamation. Come and prove what you said. And it should be thought that within the context of politics, the high court judge would determine that MPP is in power, so he will rule for me, or that NDC is in power, so he rule for Mani Boama. That should never be the case. And that has happened in Ghana recently, and I'm going to show you how it happened. The other point I'll make before I show you what had happened is that the framers of the Constitution are also aware, and I'm coming to the constitutional article, or perhaps, no, let me do the Ken Crunchy one first. Now, this is Ken Crunchy. During the election petition of 2013, he made statements that were suggested that he had scandalized the court. Ken Crunchy MDC was in power during the election so this is 2014 matter. Or 2013, during the petition, yes, NDC were in power. So Ken Crunchy was said to have made statements that are scandalous of the courts. So they hauled him before the court. His lawyer was the Leonard Atachia. The court made the decision that Ken Crunchy has scandalized the court, and therefore he should serve a contempt of 1 month. He was NPP, he's still NPP. NDC was in power, he was NPP. During the pendency of the trial, Akogun, Mugabe Mase, and the other guy, they also made statements that were scandalous of the court. What happened? Guess what? They were also hauled before the court and they were convicted for contempt. Keep the 3 there, I'll come to Enieboa. Because in the context of procedure and the context of the courts, there should be no favoritism as to how the court relates to this and relates to that. NDC was in power. And the 3 of them were convicted by the Supreme Court. John Mahama was president. And then they went into prison. But here's the catch again. Because the executive president, elected by a popular majority, is an important factor in the constitutional arrangements, every constitution gives the president the power to pardon people. Do you know why it does that? Because the constitutional framers fathom that the president's brother, the president's mother, the president's friends, his classmates, the relative of his cabinet, they may fall foul of the law. And if they do, a democratic arrangement does not permit the president to save them so long as they've fallen foul of the law. So if the president's brother drives a car into 30 girls and kills them, the Constitution knows that the president, even though he's president, will not be able to do anything about it because his brother will be treated by the law as it ought to be under a democracy. However, the constitutional framers don't want the presidents to be in a bad frame of mind. And whether, because you are human, whether you like it or not, if the president's brother is jailed, he will be in a bad state of mind. If the president's in a bad state of mind, it's probably bad for the whole of Ghana. If the president is not married, and he has a girlfriend, and his girlfriend goes to slap somebody at a supermarket, that girlfriend of the president will be hauled before the law. And the constitutional framers are aware that this will disturb the president. However, we do not want the president to be able to interfere with it because equality before the law is a bulwark of constitutional democracy. Therefore, in almost every constitution, the president is allowed to take some people out of jail when they have been jailed.